If you guys are okay with the headphone levels, I would just remind everybody to lean in when you're commenting.
Yep. Don't tell me how to do
Once
it.
we're recording.
It sickens me.
Don't tell you how to live your life.
Have you ever heard that, man? When Shatner starts yelling at the engineer?
What is it?
Or not the engineer, it's at the producer. He goes, could we try it again and maybe, I liked your direction there, but could we try it my way? And Shatner goes, oh, please, don't tell me how to do it. It sickens me.
Oh, it was, he mispronounced sabotage.
Sabotage.
Yes.
Sabotage. Can we try it sabotage? Oh, please don't do that. Well, sabotage. Well, I say sabotage.
Mm-hmm. He was just covering himself. He did. He made a mistake and he wouldn't admit it.
From Bradshaw and Bryant, Michael Bryant. What's up, Pally?
Oh, not much. Doing my usual thing of telling people they shouldn't be texting and driving. In Minnesota, you can't have your phone in your hands. You can use, hands-free, but you can't have your phone in your hands for whatever reason. And that's why they made the law the way they did, so that police officers could see a phone in your hand and you got no excuse for why you got it there.
Do people know that that's the law?
I hope so. I mean, they used to follow it, and then kind of COVID kind of made people forget, and now it's like a freewheeling world out there with cell phones.
Let's say you get pulled over because you do have a phone in your hand and you're not watching where you're going. You got to be in pretty big trouble then, I would guess.
Well, the first one's not as bad. It's the multiple ones, the problem. And once people start stacking them up, then they have a big problem. And then what we're doing in car accidents is we've started bringing motions for punitive damages, because I'm trying to use the civil law any way we can to stop this, because it needs to stop.
Whenever I'd had any problems in my life, who was that I called again? It was like an MB, something like that.
Bradshaw and Bryant.
Does thinking about retirement make you uncomfortable? Sometimes the anxiety for wondering if you've saved enough can be overwhelming. But what if I told you that you could ease those tensions in just 48 minutes? My guy, Josh Arnold, Mr. Money Talk, can sit down with you and get you on the right track for your financial future. Josh has navigated it all when it comes to uncertain market and economic conditions, and he'll always provide straight talk. Never sugar-coated advice on how to reach the finish line with your retirement goals. Don't let your financial worries give you an ulcer or keep you from calling Josh right now. His 48-minute no-obligation consultation could be just what you need to feel better about your future. Call Josh today at 952-925-5608. Set up your free 48-minute no-obligation consultation. That's 952-925-5608. Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC Security Investment Advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments must involve risk. You know that. All comments and opinions of Josh Arnold do not constitute investment advice. I am a paid endorser. Yeah. We should also point out, as we go around before we begin this discussion, you can find me on Twitter at Radio Tom Barnard and on Facebook at Tom Barnard Radio. And Tony's at Jewy Jew.
I'm proud of my heritage and my upbringing and my tradition and history. I've been working with you for a few years. It wasn't an issue for a long time. Now I'm back with you, and suddenly I'm Jackie Mason having some kreplach at Cantor's on Fairfax.
I was talking to the guy last week, and he told me, well, I said, my attorney, Ron Rosenbaum. Talking to Ron Rosenbaum, talked to several other people, Mark Rosen. We used to work with Mark Rosen.
Sure.
And I said, I'm very uncomfortable not working with Jews. And it's because I grew up in a black Jewish kind of Italian neighborhood.
All those black Jewish Italians.
And I always, on the north side there are. I got to work with Jews if I'm going to do a podcast. I just have to.
Well, they've always watched your back when you're on the streets.
That's right.
You want a couple Hebes with you.
So I just wanted, you can find, just go to WCCO.com and it'll redirect to that page and you can watch the video from last night. It is called.
I also posted it on our Facebook page.
We appreciate it.
Go there.
I've already gotten 6,000 Facebook postings and tweets. God, your wife is gorgeous. Why is she married to you?
Thank you.
I already know
I guess
that.
that's special effect makeup artist I hired.
My head looked like a buffalo head.
You do have a buffalo.
I know. I need some Restylane over here and a little face.
You have the prettiest blue eyes, though, Thomas. They just sparkle.
Thank you. Thank you very much. We had, I don't know how many subscribers today, but last I checked, Sean, we were up around 10,000 today, something like that. So a lot of new subscribers. We want to tell you, because I went to the bank before this, right? And I was talking.
See if anything's left in there.
Yeah, see if anything's left from buying all this equipment. But anyway, the woman said, I downloaded your first podcast on my daughter's computer. It was Nick Swardson. I'm like, oh. So Paula Bell, if you two, especially Catherine and Alex, could talk about Paula Bell and your impressions of the kind of female Lenny Bruce that she is.
I wasn't prepared for the. But
No,
she's a
she's-
funny gal.
Oh, she's very
very
funny.
entertaining, for sure.
She is entertaining.
Kind of
I
like
can't
Karen
imagine
from Will and Grace. She kind of had
crazy vibes.
Sassy.
tiny mouse voice.
Sassy to the extreme.
I love sassy. It's just not.
I don't know how to respond to that kind of thing.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like I'm not sure.
Well, you
Makes me a
better
little
get used to it on this podcast.
Oh, you better loosen up, kids.
If you're going to be around showbiz, if this is indeed
Well,
better
showbiz.
learn.
Like with Nick, it's easier because I know
know
him.
Oh, by the way, I couldn't find it. Yesterday we went to the State Fair. I went to the State Fair for the first time in 22 years. And I didn't find one T-shirt that says, loves
it in the ass.
I didn't see one the whole day.
Everybody
Thank
was-
I'm
God.
glad.
Probably
there were
sold
no-
out.
There were no crafts T-shirts.
Probably sold out.
Last year we went, and I don't usually say, I don't drop f-bombs left and right. Like it's not a word that I usually say, but I'm quoting.
Right.
And so we're in the food building. It's 1,000,000 degrees.
At least.
We're walking around. My mom's not generally a spazzy kind of person. Well, she is in a certain sense, but
You're
she's
spazzy.
All right.
She's not an angry person. And we're just walking around, and then she just grabs my shirt by both shoulders, and her eyes are all wide, and she goes, "Get me the fuck out of here!"
Edit.
What's this 3?
Well, I don't want to
4, 7?
edit this stuff out because I
What are
want.
these?
I wanted to segue into a conversation about just beginning this podcast. This will be our 10th episode. So this will be our episode, which will
Oh,
air.
it's her 10th anniversary.
It is already.
Day-wise.
But the things that you run into, if you're going to sit there and just schmooze with a buddy, open a 6-pack of beer and schmooze with a buddy, yeah, you just need a
We need
laptop.
more beer on this show.
Yeah, schmooze with your buddy, you can get that done. But if you're going to do a guest-based podcast, you got to go through all this rigmarole and figure out where to do it and how to do it and how to get people together. What time of the day to do it is a huge thing because we're just running all kind of problems tracking this guy down, aren't we?
So, just wanted to give you a heads up. He said he's on a conference call right now. He said that he didn't know that you were doing the recording with him right now. He thought that it was going to be this afternoon or something.
This is not my fault, people.
No, it's
Can I
not.
have a tissue?
Tissue?
Andy and his
I hate it when
tissues.
people say tissue.
To tell you the truth, it'll give us a little bit of time to talk about Isaac, Hurricane Isaac. I don't know. It looks New Orleans and Biloxi and those places are still inside the cone of Isaac. I love my son Andy. Left the door open when he left the room.
Nice.
Well, I have to go pee. I'll be back.
That's not.
And pull your pants up after you've peed.
Yeah, Andy. Andy, probably shut the door the next time you leave the room.
I did shut the door. It bounced back open.
Oh, it's your fault.
Poltergeist. Blame the inanimate object.
Well, the door bounced back, and it was unbelievable. 7 years ago, Hurricane Katrina was much larger, more intense, and much it's so yeah, it's not going to be anywhere near what Katrina is. So there's just going to be no place for the Bush family to fish, or no place for everybody else on the other side of the coin to bitch constantly.
Still, poor New Orleans. They just keep
I
getting
know.
pounded and swung
I
at.
know. It's almost like maybe you should just move.
Well, you're not supposed to be there. Is the thing. You can't build. Let's see. I'll build my house about 85 feet below sea level. Well, that's a good idea. Thank God they're at least deep into recovery. They're not completely recovered down in New Orleans. But the only thing about Katrina you could find amusing was, well, I tell you, I went down the street. You got all these Cajuns.
Yeah.
And you
Yes.
can't. Are they
The
speaking
bayou.
English?
We were in Florida for Ernesto. Remember that?
And you're right, Andy.
What?
I'm just trying to get you to add something. trying to get a word out of you.
I think he's totally wrong.
Anyway, so we go to Target, get some groceries or whatever in case something happens. Nothing on the shelves.
Nothing.
Nothing.
No,
There's
it's true.
no food,
No water, no
no
food.
water. Everything is gone. Everybody's flipping out. And so we got the few board games that were left, stuff that no one's ever heard of. And then it literally rained heavily for 15 minutes and then it was gone.
That was it.
That was it.
That's
Mass
how you
hysteria.
prepared, though, for an incoming hurricane. You went to go get board games.
Yes.
Because
Well, we thought we might not have
stuck under the stairs.
electricity for
With no
days. That's what
electricity.
they were
Yeah,
saying.
exactly.
You're not going to have electricity
Wow.
for days.
Like
You're not
the
going to be able to leave your house. And there was
craziness.
a little bit of rain.
Yeah.
You lost the roof, but you got Park Place.
Yes. That's exactly.
You got to keep yourself
exactly
amused
right.
when you're
Keep yourself occupied.
when you're bunkered in.
Yeah.
You don't have to defend your board game.
I love board games.
Tony with a personal attack.
Jeez.
There's no question.
I'll make fun
about
of
it.
your pastime. What do you do for fun?
Puppets.
After Christmas, we're flying down to Florida for a vacation. What was the board game we were playing?
Mad Gab.
Mad
Mad Gap.
Gab.
Explain how Mad Gab works.
It was Pictogab, actually. But it's a version
Pictogab,
of
okay.
Mad Gab. You have a card, and on one side there's like pictures and words, kind of words, not actual words. But it's one of those things where it's like,
I don't get it.
I can see the appeal.
because it's like mixed up.
I
It's
can explain
things
it.
you explain it. I have
explain
no.
it.
I'm having a hard time. Now
You
I'm
had
sweating.
the word baby and plus, the symbol plus, the letter F, and then it showed an ace of hearts.
No, it wasn't the word baby because that was a word that you had to. So
Baby
it's probably
fish
like
mouth.
No, it was the last word I had to know. It said baby plus letter F, and it showed an ace of hearts, and I said baby farts.
And it was actually.
Well,
So
you got
it was an
excited.
ace, baby face is
Yes.
what it actually was.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I didn't see the ace. I saw the heart, so I said baby farts. But you three lit up the
that the
airplane. It was like the
thing?
whole airplane had to hear it. You guys were. I was like, hey, it looks like baby farts to me.
We were like crying. Andy was even like bright red. He was
and when
laughing
he
so
laughs,
hard.
the
It
whole
was
world's laughing.
Fantastic.
Another thing just happened, which happens when you're doing a broadcast of any kind, whether, I talked a little bit about the fact that I've been doing the KQ Morning Show for my entire life now. As we were talking, I just try to keep an eye on current events and what's going on, if anything's new or whatever. And you get a lot of misspellings of the monitor I was just looking at. It said, Christ will speak at Dems convention. Who they meant, of course, was Crist, former Republican Governor Charlie Crist of Florida. But it said, Christ will speak at the
I go to that.
I was gonna say,
I
who's
would
gonna
go to
show
that.
up and be like, Jesus?
Seriously. So here's the deal, Tony. We're gonna have Amy Klobuchar. She's gonna come out, and she's great. You'll love her. She's a wonderful person. And then we're gonna have Christ. He's gonna come out and speak at the convention.
Jesus.
And then you come on. So you get to follow Christ.
Christ who's speaking. Exactly.
The reason that we're doing this podcast as a family is just so. And well, I could start it probably by asking, what did you think of the coverage last night? And again, it's available at WCCO.com.
Yeah, and so I was just kind of shocked that they were so supportive, and I mean, I almost felt like they were promoting it,
They want to get on.
right?
Yeah.
They want to get
Well,
on the
that was,
podcast.
I think that's the thing that for me was really nice because I had people on my Facebook and texting me like, your dad came off as like how he actually is, which is so nice because on KQRS you kind of play a character.
The wacky neighbor next door.
Exactly.
Carol
It's
you
not
play.
like it's not like you're being completely different than your actual personality, but it's kind of your personality times 100. Yeah, and it's nice because when people are like, "You're an asshole, racist," and it's
Homophobe.
like,
Don't forget homophobe.
Yeah,
in there, too.
homophobe.
First media person in America to come out and support a gay marriage, but I'm a homophobe. And by the way, I did get a Facebook posting yesterday that said, "Tom, you're an asshole, but I really love you." I said, "God, you sound just like my wife."
Oh,
It's a perfect thing.
some days it's true. I do say it.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah, but anyway, for me, it was just kind of nice to see, in the media rather than people. I don't know. I don't know what
good.
I'm talking about.
That's great. We got what, like
confused.
75,000 people downloading.
I
don't know what I'm talking
I
about.
haven't eaten yet. It's literally.
Oh, there's your excuse.
If I don't
haven't eaten yet.
If I don't eat, my brain is just.
Get the woman a Triscuit.
I've only heard this from like 2 people. It's like, God, some people talk like that in front of your children. First of all, they're about to be 26 and 24 years old. They're not children. Secondly, they've grown up around entertainment people their whole lives. And if you'll notice on the podcast, like when Paul Mercurio was on, I think the worst thing he said, well, worst, I mean, language is language to me, but he said goddamn, I think, one time. And I will say this very quickly, that I learned how to become an interviewer by watching Johnny Carson for my entire life, because he was the greatest interviewer in the history of interviewers. He just was. And he always let the guests set the tone. So if you've got Paula Bell or Nick Swartzen, a couple of people we've had on already on the Tom Barnard Podcast.com, subscribe for free. But anyway, I guess you already did if you're listening.
Like us on Facebook.
But Nick came on and wanted to light the place up. So he did. I could have followed his lead in that. Paula Bell really wanted to light up the room. And she didn't shut up. So she was, and by the way, Paul, if you listen to this, we loved you. You were incredibly funny. But then you get Louis Anderson or a Paul Mercurio. They don't tend to work blue, as they say. One thing about the recording last night I wanted to mention, a portion of the profits of the Tom Barnard Podcast goes directly to the Smile Network. The Smile Network is a nonprofit organization, provides life-altering reconstructive surgeries and related healthcare services to impoverished children and young adults in developing countries. The Smile Network. Together, we are constructing lives, one bright, smiling face at a time. I want to thank Kim Valentini. She commented on this news piece that we had on us last night and said, no, Tom and Catherine have been working with the Smile Network and giving money to the Smile Network for years. And it was very sweet of her to say that.
It's a global foundation. They're mostly in South America, Africa, and they were in India, but they weren't doing so much anymore. But
Well, they didn't like the food.
well,
It's a little spicy.
I think it's also she has to work with governments, local
Yeah.
governments, because they have to be willing to allow them in and do the surgeries and have hospital facilities and be able to bring in equipment that they don't have perhaps, and it's a very big labor of love.
So it's smilenetwork.org. But what I love about Kim Valentini and the Smile Network is Catherine and I made a donation a couple of years ago. She keeps giving us a running tally of how many children's faces we fixed with our donation.
know.
She's just so sweet. It was at like 500 or
I know.
something.
It doesn't take that much to do one surgery. It's like a couple $100 can change a child's
I think
life.
it's $400 per kid.
Yeah, and here in America, it would be like I think the equivalent of $7,000 if you did the surgery.
Did you ever hear Tony? Did you ever hear the great Daniel Tosh joke about reconstructive surgery, plastic surgery?
No. Tell me.
Daniel Tosh comes out once, goes, only Americans understand plastic surgery. They're the only ones who understand it. In other words, what's inside comes out, or fake. Mm-hmm. Nowhere else in the world do they understand plastic surgery. Sure, you've got a cleft palate, but get big titties first.
Well, that would be L.A.
That would be Daniel Tosh right there.
Different priorities.
So, Daniel, thank you for contributing to the show, even though you didn't know you were contributing to the show. For Brad, John Bryant, Michael Bryant. Michael, what's up?
Dealing with another case where a person gave a statement to the adjuster because they thought the person was really friendly.
Is that a good idea?
Well, the problem is they know the law when they call you up. And while you're trying to be fair and you're trying to get help, the reality is there are questions you get asked that the way you answer them make a big difference. And people put themselves in trouble. And when they aren't in trouble, they didn't do anything wrong, but suddenly the adjuster's got a statement that can blow up their case completely.
What has caused people to be so untrustworthy, I guess is the best way I could put it? They take advantage.
Well, insurance companies have hired adjusters whose job it is to deal with unrepresented people. So they're supposed to kind of lure them in, call them every day, see how they're doing, and people are like, oh, I'm doing pretty good. Where the reality is they've kind of adjusted to their problem that they've got going on. So it's not that they're completely better, but the way they say it gets to be a problem. And that's why having somebody who can explain your rights, represent you, make sure that you understand the law before you give a statement can make a big difference in your case.
Michael Bryant, Bradshaw and Bryant. Why should your business bank with North American Banking Company? Here's Austin Bartz of Bartz Lawn and Landscape and Bartz Snow Sculptures.
I started banking with North American, I think, 3.5 years ago. All the people know me by name. I know them by name. It's fun to come into the bank and actually talk to somebody you know. So I made the switch and I'm very happy. It's the best bank I've ever been at.
So why not bank where I bank? With my friends at North American Banking Company. To learn more about North American Banking Company, go to nabankco.com. That's nabankco.com, or do what I do and stop by any one of their 6 Twin Cities locations. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. But so we decided, again, because people wanted to meet everybody on the cast. Because like Paula, we didn't talk a whole lot during Paula.
No.
Didn't talk a whole lot during Nick Swartzen. Tony, let's talk about you.
Good.
When the idea of this podcast first came up, and Sean, my nephew, and I were talking about it, we've been talking about it for, about a year, something like that. I said, I've always wanted to work with my family. I want to work with Catherine and Andy and Alex, and I've explained before that I think they're the funniest people I know. I said, if I ever get to work with Tony Lee again, I really enjoyed. We worked together for like
10 years.
People love hearing you on Facebook, on Twitter. I hear constantly about it. But you better put together Talk with Talk, or they're going to storm your house. They really are. They really want to hear
I've even
it.
gotten comments about that.
Oh, God,
Seriously?
yes.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have to rev it up.
Yep.
You have to rev it up. You worked at other various radio stations.
I had some adventures. I've worked for 3 other radio stations. I lived in L.A. for a while. I did a lot of freelance writing. I got married. I'm expecting my second youngin'.
You don't hear many Jews say the word youngin'.
You don't hear too many Northerners.
No.
Youngin'.
Yes, I think that's true. And now, you still write.
I worked on, I did some writing for Speed TV. I did a lot of syndicated comedy bit.
Right.
Writing and producing, which was a ball. But I still do a lot of freelance writing.
Yay, Tony.
I thought that was the case. So now you were first contacted by Sean. It's like, what? What?
There's an element. It is a little surreal. We haven't worked together in a long time, and it just so easily fall back into it.
I know.
I've explained it kind of to my wife Rachel how it sort of felt like being woken up in the middle of the night.
Nice education there at Highland.
And you're back.
I ain't much for fancy book learning.
Fabulous Highland education.
We're having a hard time today.
But it's like being woken up in the middle of the night and going, here, work on that project really quickly. And you're like, okay, I sort of know how to do this. And kind of fumbling around. But it's cool. There was always kind of a natural rhythm, and we kind of had similar upbringing.
Yes.
Surrounded by minorities and humorous, crazy people.
There's a guy who's the guy's in town right now that's just wonderful. He was a teacher in the Oakland school system, Oakland, California school system. What's that guy's name?
Oh,
we should bring him on actually because he's talking about what.
He's at Acme.
He said it took me a long time to learn what means. Hey, what man? What
Yeah, what up?
What up? What He said they made fun of him because he go, man, look at old Mr. Tight Pants. Look how tight your pants are. Man, your pants are so tight they're making my sperm count go down. Because he wasn't sagging, and they didn't like that.
Yes, we don't know his name, but we're working on getting him here.
Cool.
So we love him.
Tony, it's great to be working with you again, and this is just our 10th today, so we just got started at this, and thank you to everyone. The response has been unbelievable. It was predicted by someone I might work with. Well, they'll do a few hundred. Did it say a couple hundred or a few hundred, Sean?
I think it was a couple hundred.
Couple hundred. He said, well, Tom gets 270,000 listeners daily, and he'll get, I think, 200 on a podcast. So far, that number's only been missed by about 70,000 people. So that's nice to know. But in any case.
You were wrong,
so bite me,
guy.
So seriously, thank you from each. And I actually posted on Twitter and Facebook. I just put in the whole family, including Tony Lee. Because,
Thanks.
That's the other thing is that Catherine always loved Tony. I always like being around him. You made her laugh.
Tony,
There's
hold
always
my hand.
been that attraction. And
There's been that They're holding hands right now, and I'm uncomfortable.
I'm nervous.
Tom, can Sean come in and say something?
No, forget it.
Please stop.
Depends on what he's going to say. Is he in a good mood or a bad mood?
he's crying.
Is he stomping or is he skipping?
Here's one of the parts that I see, to me, most fascinating. One of the funniest people I know is my son, Andy. But Andy does not like to talk. You're not a very outgoing person. No.
But he loves physical comedy.
Yeah, that's me.
Prop comics, he just loves them.
You just fall down.
So, Andy,
Tap.
you agreed to do the podcast.
Because I only have to work like 10 hours a week?
Oh, my God. Brutal honesty.
Moment.
Brutal. Hey, another Barnard family member doesn't
So
remember how to
proud
shut the
of
door
my
when we're drunk.
son. So
I love
proud
this.
of him.
Yeah. This family's been in broadcasting for like 40 years altogether, and none of us know what the hell we're doing. It's interesting.
40
Shawnee.
years.
I just wanted to say it's really cool to see you having this much fun again. I mean, when you and I had the conversation about a year ago, and we sat down and talked about this, it was kind of a pipe dream. And then Adam Carolla's guy was nice enough to meet with us and have a conversation about
Tony a hug like you're doing right now.
how to make this whole thing happen. But you just said, I want to have some fun with the family. And it's been so cool to see that happen, except for the fact when we have technical problems. But that's my fault.
Why is Pod Dog walking on the table?
Every show has tech problems, though. If you listen to other podcasts, any podcast, there's always some bitch or complain about the sound quality. It's true. You listen at any given moment. It just happens.
Bella, you okay?
Wow, that's a good shot of the dog's
Tony,
anus.
Here's my anus, Tony. Take a gander.
Look at that.
Bella, what are you doing? Why are you laughing so
I think
hard?
Bella just crop dusted the table. That's the deal is right
Bella,
there.
what are you doing?
Wow.
Hey, we have got to get a picture of Bella, the Pod Dog, up on the...
She's just walking around on the table.
There's
we
one
need
on
one.
Facebook.
We need to get one on the podcast.
I sent it to Andy to go under Meet the Cast.
When
We
are you
need
going to do that?
Clorox
Put that on
wipe.
when I get home.
Okay, that sounds good. But back to having fun. So I thought, well, who may have fun with? Catherine and Alex are falling apart over here because of Bella. Bella just literally took a stroll around the entire table. But yeah, the having fun part of it, doing radio is a ball, but you do your job. It's not like, well, here's how the radio show is going to go. There are program directors and general managers and presidents and CEOs and all that. So you kind of have to do pretty much what they want you to do. They give me a lot of freedom at KQRS, don't get me wrong. But there are things that we do there that I wouldn't do. And it's very obvious on this podcast. We do things on that show that I just wouldn't do.
It's a different product.
Yeah, it's a completely different product. But we happen to own this product, so we get to do it however we want to do.
It's great to hear it unfiltered. I mean, the guests get exactly. The guests get to kind of speak their mind. I think the improvisation that we're hearing from some of the guests is amazing. Paula Bell's improvisational ability was amazing. You could tell it was not rehearsed. It was not her canned bits.
No.
And I love hearing stuff like that they can freeform. Then they can't do that on the radio because they're too worried about what they're going to say, who they're going to offend, and that the FCC is going to come down on them.
Improv. Give me a suggestion. What's in my glove compartment right now?
A gun.
A pair of women's panties and a huge... Who's the guy who had the vibrator? Sean is now sitting on Tony Lee's lap
again.
So they can share a microphone.
Right on.
So, yeah, the one thing about the technical part, what's the full name of this studio? Because I want to tell everybody.
It's Aaron Stokes Music.
It's Aaron Stokes Music.
Music and Sound, yeah.
Music and Sound. Okay, Aaron Stokes Music and Sound. You guys have been great to us. We're just trying to get the sound down right. I guess starting on Thursday again, we'll be doing the show back at the house with much different equipment. And Catherine just sighed. She's sick of it. We're in the process of building a studio in the very same building we're in right now. And that's going to be great because coming here, what a great location. It's right by Acme. It's the same building the Acme Comedy Company's in. And there is not a comedian in the universe that doesn't know where Acme Comedy Company is.
They love that club, too.
They do. They love this club. And we're lucky to have Rick Bronson's House of Comedy in this market as well, another great club. It's a great comedy market. Minneapolis, as far as theater and comedy and music, is right at the top. Minneapolis, St. Paul, I should say. So, thank you to all those people. But any closing words? I mean, for me, so far, I will tell you what. Like I said, when I go to work at the radio station, part of it is like, it's a job. I love it. I've been doing it for years. I just signed a new 4-year extension. So don't get me wrong. But there's always that little part of it where you're like, oh, that's not the way I'd handle things.
The corporate side that you're not.
No, it's not the corporate side, actually. They've been great to me.
There's a lot of touching.
Yeah, no touching. There'll be no touching. But, and if that's tough for people to hear, I'm sorry. But that's a fact. That there are things on that show that happen that I don't really think it's not the way that I would do them. So on this show, it'll be brutal honesty. Obviously, I love everybody involved in the show, and that's not showbiz love either. So people wanted to get to know us, and I hope. Do you think this is we did a good job trying to identify ourselves?
Yes, but for God's sake, you've got to tell some of the old family stories at some point. You've got to tell some of the stories of when you were growing up in North Minneapolis, because there's 40% of our audience isn't from Minnesota, and I'd love to hear any story with my father in it would really help the rest of my life too.
Oh well, we'll get to that. I could close with a mini story. My grandmother.
Let's get Grandma's ghost in here. Yeah. Let's start a seance.
You're my mother.
She can tell some. She can tell some stories.
My mother. Oh yeah, my mother was something else.
She loved to dance.
Toots was the greatest.
She won a duck.
At the end of her life, she told the same story about 15. Yeah, she won a duck dancing back during the Depression.
Really? My grandpa used to do that, too. That's how he picked up extra dough.
Yeah.
He would do dance marathons.
Literal dough?
He was a hooker.
Yes, he's a pizza baker. Just very quickly, what he's talking about, where I learned humor. And it was not necessarily intentional humor. My grandma, Minnie, was just the sweetest woman you'd ever want to meet. She was a big woman. She was like 6 feet tall, weighed about 200 pounds, and not an ounce of fat on her. She was a big woman. But she was just a sweetheart. Like when she'd get mad, I'm taking out the belt. And then she'd come over and, I don't know if you can hear this, but I have a piece of, here was the belt. I was like, that's how hard she takes. He's like, you're not even hitting me. What are you about? I'm punishing you. Don't forget it. So we're playing Monopoly. Back to board games. We're playing Monopoly.
More board games now.
I'm 4 years old, and we're playing. And my grandma, who was born in Germany and then came to America when the Kaiser decided he was going to kill about half the world, and Adolf picked up on that.
She got out when the getting was good.
When the getting was good. So she rolls the dice, and one falls on the floor. And she says, Tommy, pick up that dice. I said, it's not a dice, Grandma, it's a die. And she said, why don't you? To a 4-year-old kid. So I started laughing like a madman, and I've been laughing ever since because that stuff happens in my family and continues. It's not a dice, it's a die. Yeah, why don't you? Thank you very much. And then about half her family was murdered, but that'll be another story.
That's a whole show right there.
There's a good way to close the show right there because we ran into a cousin that I see once in a while.
Everyone died. Good night, everybody.
My family, my mother's family, half of them were cops and the other half were criminals. That's pretty much how it went. 3 uncles who were murdered. It's a nice touch.
Wow.
Oh, you didn't know that, Tony?
No.
Yeah.
Did they still hang out, though, at family gatherings and such? You had the different factions?
The cop table and the felon table.
That's hilarious.
But you know what Toots always said, and this is a true story, and my brothers and sisters tell you this, when we had a house party at our house, when the cops came and when the other guys came, she said, put your guns in the pantry. And everybody would put their guns in the pantry, and then she'd lock the pantry. Right. So whether it was cops or others, the guns had to... And this is, when not a lot of people carried guns back then. They just didn't. Not like today, but... Why should your business bank with North American Banking Company? Here's Austin Bartz of Bartz Lawn and Landscape and Bartz Snow Sculptures.
I started banking with North American, I think, 3.5 years ago. All the people know me by name. I know them by name. It's fun to come into the bank and actually talk to somebody you know. So I made the switch and I'm very happy. It's the best bank I've ever been at.
So why not bank where I bank? With my friends at North American Banking Company. To learn more about North American Banking Company, go to nabankco.com. That's nabankco.com, or do what I do and stop by any one of their 6 Twin Cities locations. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. Does thinking about retirement make you uncomfortable? Sometimes the anxiety for wondering if you've saved enough can be overwhelming. But what if I told you that you could ease those tensions in just 48 minutes? My guy, Josh Arnold, Mr. Money Talk, can sit down with you and get you on the right track for your financial future. Josh has navigated it all when it comes to uncertain market and economic conditions, and he'll always provide straight talk. Never sugar-coated advice on how to reach the finish line with your retirement goals. Don't let your financial worries give you an ulcer or keep you from calling Josh right now. His 48-minute no-obligation consultation could be just what you need to feel better about your future. Call Josh today at 952-925-5608. Set up your free 48-minute no-obligation consultation. That's 952-925-5608. Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC Security Investment Advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments must involve risk. You know that. All comments and opinions of Josh Arnold's do not constitute investment advice. I am a paid endorser. Thank you so much. I really want to thank all of the guests. The fact that Nick Swardson, a star of his caliber, would be the first person to ever appear on this show was quite an honor. But he's a family friend. He's just a great guy. And then the rest of them I forgot. No, I'm just...
the other. And the rest.
No, you have Louis Anderson, who's just a sweetest guy in the world. Sweetest guy you'd ever want to know.
Love him.
We got so lucky on the third show because we hit the wall technically. It was our first technical blow-up. We recorded a wonderful show. It was hilarious. But actually, we didn't record it. We recorded us, but not the guest.
Yeah, it was
so
weird.
There was a young man named Gerard Carmichael in town, a young 24-year-old guy who was appearing at Rick Bronson's House of Comedy. And I just said, could somebody get me Gerard's cell phone number? So I got a cell phone number. I called him. I had never met Gerard before. I called him. I said, Gerard, I'm the guy who interviewed you on KQRS this morning. I was wondering if you'd have any interest in coming over to my house and recording a podcast in my basement. He said, sure, I'll do that. So we talked about a young 24-year-old black man hears from this white guy who goes, hey, why don't you come over to my basement?
Is that how you said it?
We'll do a pretend show. But he came over,
I'll give you a show.
knocked it out of the park, and his final words on the show were, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to point out that Tom Barnard is white. We recorded Paul Mercurio 4 different times.
Woo!
But he was so pleasant, so nice about it. Who's that? Oh, would you see if that's Nick DiPaolo? Nick's going to be on the show next a week from Thursday.
Just a quick thing that my mother did. We're wearing headphones because we're recording. She lifts up her left side of her headphone and puts the phone up to her right. Did I? Yeah.
I did not.
Yes, you
So anyway, I need to be able to talk out of my ear.
I'm on Benadryl.
Thanks so much again to Paul Mercurio. You are a sweetheart, and we love you because you put up with so much. So Catherine calls and goes, Paul, the family wants to give you a gift. We'd like to send you something. Was there anything you'd like? And he goes, $50,000 toward my kid's college tuition would be nice. And she paused. She goes, we were thinking a muffin basket. But to everybody, the cooperation we've gotten. And what I really love about this, Andy Kindler came on. I had just talked to Nick that day, and I already brought this up in the podcast earlier, but for new listeners, I was talking to Nick DiPaolo, and he says, who you got on? So, Tommy, who you got on today? I said, Andy Kindler. He goes, oh, God, I love Andy Kindler. fucking communist. But he actually does love Andy Kindler. Just the mix of all these different people you get to talk to, and then we bring that to you. So when these people come on the Tom Barnard podcast, they're just being themselves as well. Anything else, Andy? You want to add anything else?
No, I'm good.
Okay. 10 hours a week.
Never ending with you.
10 hours a week. That's what he gets.